Okay, so we're on a roll with the exes stories, okay? So I will tell you how my marriage ended, okay? It first started off with farting. Remember? She cried herself to sleep when I wouldn't fart in front of her. That was my warning, okay? I ignored the warning and I married her because that's what we do. We ignore all the red flags, okay? Anyways, so we ended up living together. We were in therapy, right? Because she needed to touch me 24 hours a day. And when I didn't touch her, she would sit in the living room and emotionally take us hostage by crying for 2 days, sometimes 3. Okay? At one point, I was like, I really think, something's wrong. And with her, I was in my therapy and in my sober groups and, doing all the things, but she wasn't. And it was obvious. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for you just don't want to really marry somebody who is not well enough to cry themselves to sleep because their partner won't fart in front of them when they've been together for 1 month, okay? Don't marry them like I did. Anyways, I was like, yeah, I think something's wrong. And then they're like, no, it's you. And I was like, you came into the relationship crying. Maybe you're crying now and I'm your reason, but you came in crying, okay? Because it's not normal to cry that your new partner won't fart in front of you. So yes, you can blame me if you'd like to, but you came in crying. Anyways, so now we know she's a stage 4 clinger, right? And for some reason, I always get the stage 4 clingers, okay? I don't know why. Probably because I don't need them and I don't want them. Okay? And then they're like, well, we're going to get you and we're going to have you. And that's fair and valid because I'll marry you even when I shouldn't. So the day that we separated, we had sold our house and we had put money down on a bigger house. And so we moved in at the beginning of COVID into a 1-bedroom. Not a good idea. Because we had to put our bed in the living room because, there was a child in the other room. Anyways, so we go to this wedding, okay? We're at a wedding. It's a family member. I was very excited. This was very important, right? So my wife at the time, yeah, she knew my family, and I found out later that they all hated her. I would have liked to have known that before. But anyways, so we go to this wedding, and because it's a close family member, I'm busy being, getting everything ready and driving and organizing and being excited. And so for me, what that looks like is I'm tending to the people that need me, which was my family. Unfortunately, her idea of going to a wedding, even though it wasn't just like my cousin's wedding, you know what I'm saying? It was like a close family member's wedding, was that this was an opportunity for us to connect. Just like it was an opportunity to connect in the kitchen if I was running around making lunches for the kids. This woman followed me around and she always stood right behind me, okay? Quietly behind me. There was some, and you know what? Fair enough. Social situations, not everybody is great at them. So I totally respect that and understand that. But this was a dependency like no other. And so everywhere I went, there was a shadow, just this shadow. And then there were a few times where it was important times, the bride was walking up and my wife wanted to look in my eyes and gaze in and have this connection. And yes, my nails are screwed because I've been, and I wasn't engaging in that because I was focused on my very close family member getting married. And so I'm there for that. And then she started getting upset with me that I wasn't connecting with her. I wouldn't look into her eyes lovingly while the bride was walking up and then have our moment of, it was so strange. Anyways, so there was a couple of incidences like that and then at one point, a family member turned over and was like, that's enough. I was like, oh my God, people are noticing, this is bad, right? And for me, I didn't want to engage. I was there for my family, and I was sensing that she's mad at me. She's mad at me because I'm not connecting. And I didn't understand it. I was like, what? We're here for other people. This isn't about us. Anyways, after the wedding, I was able to speak with my wife, and I'm like, like, shut the fuck up and stop talking. And what are you doing? And she was like, this could be a romantic moment, and we should be connecting, and I'm like, I'm here for so and so. And I'm like, and I need you to get on board with that. Like, this is not about us, okay? This is not about us. Like, for real. Anyways, I was so fucking angry because it was taking away from me being present for my loved one, right? And then I'm like, I think because, like, socially, I never understood why she wanted to connect in the kitchen when I'm busy. Like, every time she made an advance towards me, it was always awkward. The first time she kissed me, we were on a first date. She's driving. I'm in the passenger side. I bend down to grab my purse, so my head's down, right? And then I look up and she, like, she literally, like, it was just out of nowhere. Like, we weren't having a moment. It was, I'm like getting my purse, and she attacked my face. I mean, God, I hope this works, but somebody just called me, and sometimes that stops the recording. But anyways, so there was just always awkward timings for thing. And I'm like, at this point, it had been a couple of years. I'm like, this isn't changing. And this is kind of a big event where you're like, you don't understand. This isn't about us. Like, I can't make somebody understand something. Do you know what I'm saying? Anyways, we get home from the reception. I look over and I said, get your stuff and go and never come back. It wasn't over pierogies, but it was immediately, as soon as we walked in, there was probably 9:00 at night. I was like, you need to get your stuff and get the heck out of this house right now. Bye-bye. So that's how that ended. Yeah. I love telling stories.